Hello, I'm Denise LaFrance. Coming up on this edition of City Beat. This month, retailer Amazon will begin charging taxes on items shipped to addresses in New Mexico. Find out what that means for you, for the state, and for Las Cruces. A successful film festival, according to organizers. What has helped this event grow and get on the map? Las Cruces is putting high school students on the payroll while they mentor other teens. A deeper look at the student rec aide position. And human trafficking, is it a problem here on the border? The FBI explains what to look out for. Welcome to City Beat for the month of April. You may not be a stranger to online shopping, but this month one retailer may charge a little more than what you're used to paying when you factor in the tax. Amazon begins charging a retail tax this month, but CLC TV's Jennifer Martinez explains how this may help local businesses.
When you shop in Las Cruces, you're probably charged a sales tax, even here at the downtown farmers market. But if you've enjoyed shopping online at Amazon with no sales tax collected, you've already run out of time in New Mexico.
I don't really like it because the reason that I do buy from Amazon is sometimes to get the free shipping, to get just the regular price as it says, so I don't think I like it very much. No, I'm not very happy with it.
Seattle-based Amazon started collecting sales tax this month after years of avoiding the collection. States put on the pressure to level the playing field.
Well, I buy a lot of stuff for my phone, a lot of phone cases. Sometimes we don't have an IKEA here, so it's furniture, sometimes you do buy it.
Let's say I wanted to buy this book, Images of America, Las Cruces, at a local Las Cruces bookstore. I'd pay the $21.99 price plus $1.83 tax, bringing the cost of this book to almost $24. Or I could have gone online to Amazon last month and found this book on sale for $17.97. If I already had Amazon Prime, I could have this book delivered to my door for $17.97. But now it too will cost more online.
And usually I go for the ones that are cheaper, that don't have that much tax. So I do really look at the tax, and it really does affect kind of what I'm going to buy or potentially going to buy. So.
Last month, a New Mexico Department of Taxation and Revenue spokesman explained the tax will be about 7%, a mix of the state plus local taxes. Around 4% will return to the state, totaling tens of millions of dollars, and 3% to the cities where the items were bought. Amazon shopper Xavier Fierro recently bought a tri-spinner fidget toy from the online retailer. He avoided the tax one last time, but feels it's better to know that some of the money is coming back home.
Yeah, it makes it a little easier. It's okay, so at least some of the portion of the profit is going to come back to the state.
Local businesses will have more leverage now that the tax has been added, and cities won't begin to see the distributions until a few months after those taxes are collected. For City Beat, I'm Jennifer Martinez.
Thanks, Jen. Maine residents will also see an Amazon sales tax being charged this month. Since the beginning of 2017, 10 states were added to the list of Amazon sales taxpayers. If you need to renew your New Mexico driver's license soon, you'll need to bring in several documents. The New Mexico Motor Vehicle Division now requires 4 forms of identification. That includes one proof of identification number, which could either be a Social Security card, W-2, or pay stub. One proof of identity and age. For that, you could bring a birth certificate, a passport, or a permanent resident card. And then 2 proofs of residency, which could be a bank statement, a local property tax statement, a utility bill dated within 60 days, or an insurance bill. You may also need to bring a marriage certificate if your name is different than what is on your birth certificate. More detailed information can be found on nvd.newmexico.gov. The Las Cruces International Film Festival has come to an end, but not before leaving a mark on the area. Organizers say the festival has grown, but still has so much more potential.
When it comes to film festivals and what they're doing right now, it's really helping New Mexico grow in this kind of business, because there's LA, California, all these other places that are already so big in that area. It's nice to have more areas that are actually working in that craft, because there's so many beautiful areas in New Mexico, so many beautiful landmarks, and it's just nice to have a fresh new start in a new place.
It's important to have it in the city because there's a lot of beautiful scenery in New Mexico, and you really want to get that out there so you have more opportunity. There's a lot of good talent here, just a lot of people who really need that.
Beijing's public schools are better, but they don't want children from the poor countryside. Our story, I wanted to exchange phone numbers.
I was the artistic director of the White Sands International Film Festival for 3 years, and then stepped away from that, and then had the idea when that festival went away of starting a new festival under the auspices of NMSU, a kind of bigger, more dynamic, a farther reaching festival, again, making it truly an international event, bringing in people from all around the world and treating the community of Las Cruces and the community of NMSU and the students to a really spectacular entertainment event. The second year of the Las Cruces International Film Festival really exploded on us. Attendance was up about 30%. Community support, particularly in the form of sponsorships, were up 30%. All of the events, just even anecdotally, I can tell you we had these workshops, which are an important component because we not only want to have great films that we screen for audiences that would get a chance to otherwise see these great independent films, but we also put on workshops so we can train the community and train our students and train people to work in film and television, because we really want to be the mouthpiece for entertainment in southern New Mexico and grow the industry.
Sit in my room and I would write stories, and then I would use my family, and if I couldn't get my family, I would use my toys or my stuffed animals, and I would cut Super 8 films in my bedroom.
I enjoy the Las Cruces Film Festival because there's big actors that come here sometimes, and other people enjoy people watching other students' films and other films that usually don't go on the big screen. Coming to the film festival, it helps me by learning stories and angles and other things that I should know about filming and directing, like the screenplay and the stories.
Las Cruces teens have an interesting opportunity when it comes to working for the city. A handful of high school students have been selected to take on recreation-type jobs in the hopes they use their new skills to return to a recreation-type career.
We hire student rec aides to be able to give them the opportunity to one day become a Parks and Recreation staff member, as well as give them the work set that they need to go and get a job with the real world.
I really like it because it teaches us a lot of business and how to deal with the public. And we're all over the city, and it just helps us a lot dealing with the community and different types of people. So that way in the future, I am prepared for the real world.
A student rec aide requirement is a junior, senior in high school, and they work 15 to 20 hours a week, and we work around their schedule to accommodate all our sporting events, aquatics, juvenile citation program, and the teen mobile unit.
Juvenile citation program, how may I help you? Here at the Juvenile Citation Program, I help make files, I help teach classes, and I'm also a mentor for the youth that come through our program.
Learning to handle peer pressure is really important, just because knowing the difference between positive peer pressure and negative peer pressure is really important.
A lot of them come in very timid, kind of shy, because it's their first time. So we're trying to help them to be more social and to basically, develop, good social skills to interact not only with fellow employees, but also with the public. So we also try to, encourage that as well.
I know working here, it's kind of helped me come out of my bubble. I'm a super quiet person, and after teaching some classes, I've been able to just kind of come out and speak to the youth, and it's been really interesting being able to have them look at me as a mentor.
They come in and they have a different perspective than us. Some of us are older, and so we haven't been teenagers for a while, so they kind of help us to make sure that we redirect and that we understand what some of the youth are going through.
Stay strong-minded, don't go around that stuff, I'm telling you, because it'll get you bad. Because I've seen some kids that were GPA was like 3.5 or higher. Good kids, you know, involved with sports, and after they fell into that temptation, they started quitting sports and their grades went down. So that's honestly the best advice I could give you guys.
So we want them to come out of this program well-rounded and ready to hopefully come back and reapply for us at a different level with the city.
I always loved sports and stuff, so I would like to continue it, so hopefully.
I do plan to hopefully come back and take a city job if that is available. Just working here has changed my perspective a lot. I no longer look at the youth as people who have received citations. I look at them as someone else who's just like me. Yeah, we've all made mistakes, but we're able to turn around and fix those mistakes, which is a really big inspiration. I've learned so much from working here.
Teen Rec Aide or Youth Services monitors positions open periodically with the city. Those interested in the next round can check with the city's website at las-cruces.org. The Country Music Fest is nearing, and where to get those tickets and a new assistant city manager is named. Find out more in our City Minute. Casey Musgraves, Travis Tritt, and a lot of local country music bands are preparing for the biggest Las Cruces Country Music Festival yet. Tickets are available at lascrucescountrymusic.com. Regular tickets range from $35 per day to $150 for VIP access passes. The search for a new assistant city manager has come to an end. The selection committee chose a man with nearly 40 years of municipal government experience. The city is pleased to welcome William F. Studer of El Paso. Studer recently worked in the town of Horizon as that city's executive director of economic development. He started with Las Cruces at the beginning of April. And this month begins the 50-plus walking program. Walks take place from 8:30 to 9:30, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays from Frank O'Brien Papin Community Center through July 28th. Register at the Papin Center or call 541-2455 for more information. Human trafficking is believed to be the third largest criminal activity in the world. People are bought, sold, and smuggled like modern-day slaves. They are often beaten, starved, and forced to work as prostitutes or take jobs as migrant domestic restaurant or factory workers with little to no pay. The FBI is actively combating human trafficking, as CLC TV's Udelvi Hill reports in this month's ASKDA.
Hello and welcome. Our guest for this edition of ASTA is FBI Special Agent Ida Hangen. Special Agent Hangen, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So what is human trafficking?
Human trafficking is basically modern day slavery. It's when someone is basically forced, coerced, or fooled into complying with a trafficker and thrown into either sex trafficking or forced labor.
So what are the more common forms of human trafficking?
Well, about 70% of it is sex trafficking, and the other 30% involves forced labor, people thrown into becoming maids or thrown into the work fields and different things like that.
So who are the victims and who are the traffickers?
Well, victims become vulnerable when there's certain things in play, like being young, and some get lured off the internet just by thinking that they're talking to a teenager and it's actually a trafficker. And some are just their economic situation, coming over from, say, a different country, or just something that makes them vulnerable to being trafficked and promised a better life. And then the traffickers can just be anyone, but most of the time we see them where they're just involved in some kind of organized group, and it's one finds or recruits them, and then the other one turns around and sells them, and the process continues.
So we're pretty close to the U.S.-Mexico border. Do you find that there's a lot of human trafficking coming our way from Mexico, Central, South America?
Yes, I mean, it comes in through the different countries, and here in the Southwest, we're gonna see the influx come through Mexico, and then just filter on up to the different cities throughout the United States.
Okay, so what is the FBI doing to combat human trafficking?
So the FBI has human trafficking working groups, and that's located throughout the United States. And in these groups, what we do is we collaborate with other federal law enforcement agencies along with state and local, and we discuss just what's happening in the area, as well as we involve the non-governmental agencies, and they're our resources for our victims when we are able to rescue them. And during these law enforcement sessions and trainings, we try and educate the public and do certain things like going to churches, going to the schools in different areas and educate them about what human trafficking is.
So a lot of outreach.
Yes.
And then, so what can the public do to help fight trafficking?
So what the public can do is they can call the FBI office or any law enforcement agency, or if it's an emergency, call 911. And then we have a 1-800 number that they can call, and somebody's always going to be answer the phone and get that person's information.
Okay. Well, very good information. Thank you very much. Special Agent Ida Hangen with the FBI, thank you for joining us on ASTA.
Thank you.
Thanks, Udell. Once again, that number is 888-373-7888. Well, that's all for this episode of City Beat. Remember to tune in for live City Council meetings right here Mondays at 1 p.m. You can also find all archived meetings and programs on clctv.com. Plus, we have so much more on our Facebook page. Thanks for joining us. I'm Denise LaFrance.